she has gone viral, all right? She's gone viral over hot girls eat Arby's. Yeah. She was wearing this outfit, this arrangement into the Chicago Sky game. Of course, the Indiana Fever, I would like to say beat the brakes off the Sky, but really it felt like they underachieved a good bit.
Sophie Cunningham threw on an Arby's tee and accidentally nuked the WNBA news cycle. One slogan, one shirt, 800,000 sales. Bam! Curly fries are now beating courtside seats. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is somewhere silently fuming, wondering why her jersey isn't flying off shelves. What started as a joke just exposed the WNBA's real issue. One woman's raw, goofy charm dunked on the league's entire branding playbook. Sophie didn't wear the moment. She was the moment.
Sophie Cunningham's t-shirt became a marketing phenomenon. Sophie Cunningham currently plays for the Indiana Fever and has now become one of the most recognizable WNBA players. In her Barbie night, she pulled up wearing a shirt that said "Hot Girls Eat Arby's," and the internet lost it. But here's the real backstory. A few months earlier, Sophie posted a video rating Arby's. And that video was just her being authentic in herself. And that puppy went viral.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and give Arby's a solid 9 out of 10.
And following this, the phrase "Hot Girls Eat Arby's" started flying around. And it turns out that Arby's has been saying this since 2023.
The WNBA traded hoops for heat. Stats out, side eyes in. Drama's the new game, and Sophie Cunningham just lit it up. No dunk, just an Arby's tee, no filter, and all fries. Forget PR spins. She deep-fried the script and served it hotter than any buzzer beater.
We know somebody that has gotten ridiculously popular this year with the Indiana Fever. I made a prediction that she was going to be the second most popular player on this team by the end of the year. And then, of course, there was the big incident during the Connecticut Sun game. And by the end of that game, she was known as Caitlin Clark's enforcer, right? The one that's got her back. At times, it feels like the only one that's got her back, if I'm being quite honest.
She's not running plays. She's dropping truth bombs. No filters, no sparkle, just Sophie, curly fries, and chaos. While Angel Reese chases clout, Sophie's selling 800,000 shirts and torching the league's branding playbook. No gimmicks, just realness, and it's unstoppable.
Let's talk about Arby's. She is now on the Arby's payroll. Decided that it was a match made in roast beef heaven. Hot girls eat Arby's. No knock on Arby's, Sophie, but if you give Arby's 9 out of 10, I'll take you to Racks. I'll buy you some Racks, and I think you will find that hot girls probably eat Racks. Arby's has a new spokeswoman, and it just so happens to be Sophie Cunningham. Yeah, that's right. Sophie Cunningham, who took to her social media to discuss how much she enjoyed a trip that she made to Arby's.
Sophie Cunningham blew into the W like a gust of truth. Enough to shake the gloss right off. No staged hugs, no TikTok dances, no curated clicks. She's off-brand, off-script, and exactly what fans were secretly waiting for.
Sophie Cunningham has broken the internet in multiple ways over the last day. All right, the other day, before the Chicago Sky game, this Barbie, and let's be real, let's be honest. If you were going to cast somebody as Barbie, there's a good chance you'd take a long, hard look at Sophie Cunningham.
That's why people can't look away. In a league neck-deep in performance art, Sophie just shows up. No wigs, no filter factory, no branding meetings. Just hoops, honesty, and one strangely iconic Arby's shirt. Turns out, fans might actually want athletes who act like athletes. Shocking, right? What a concept.
Let's get it! Burn! Lack of awareness combined with a lack of ability to jump. Not great! Burn!
Me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow.
Yeah! Again! Do it for me. Me bound! Burn!
Caitlin Clark shook the W without playing nice. Aaliyah Boston crushes hype with facts. They don't chase clout, they are clout. And that's scary. Fans want real, but the league keeps choosing trends over toughness, slogans over skills. That gap, it's costing way more than clicks.
700,000 followers overnight. I don't know if you guys knew, she had like 300 or something less than 48 hours ago. Insane. The enforcer has arrived. And she even posted like twice since then, bro. She's totally taken it to a whole new level. Like, Caitlin Clark has a new star. This is like a new star in the WNBA. People ain't gonna like it. People aren't gonna like it. Trace Leches, you know what I'm saying? Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, and Lexi Hull, which, by the way, kind of was obsessed with her before she even came along.
The W's starting to look less like a league and more like a beauty pageant in sneakers. Points? Nah. It's all about selfies, subtweets, and whose nails sparkle courtside. And in the chaos, the real hoopers, the grinders, the pros, the ones who let the game talk, are getting completely drowned out.
So Caitlin Clark's teammate Sophie Cunningham's jersey has officially sold out on the Fever website. And this comes the same week as the chippy foul that led to some ejections at the end of the game. It was a bit of a revenge foul taken up for Caitlin Clark after a hard foul on the other end. And then immediately a petition online from the Caitlin Clark haters to have Sophie Cunningham removed from the WNBA. They're trying to get folks to sign it. They said what she displayed tonight was disgusting. Yeah, it was a hard foul, but now it has the Caitlin Clark fans rallying around her, buying up her jerseys to the point they've officially sold out. Fortunately for this petition, I think they just turned Sophie Cunningham into a new WNBA A-list superstar.
That's why Sophie's moment hit like a buzzer beater. It was real versus rehearsed. No character, no glam squad, just a tee, a smirk, and a whole vibe. And suddenly, you could hear the panic from players whose whole brand is attitude without stats. Sophie proved fans chase real faster than polished PR, and the visibility matters crowd awfully quiet when the spotlight didn't stick to their script.
And one thing I like about Sophie is that she's tough. So when Caitlin Clark last week, or not last week, a couple days ago, when Caitlin Clark got destroyed, her girl Sophie came to her defense, and this was the most beast mode thing that I've seen a woman do in WNBA history. Now, Sophie, who's my one of my favorites now, she's become one of my favorite WNBA players. I'm gonna watch her too, like I watch Caitlin. Look at what she did, and people may not say that this was in response or whatever the case may be, but I feel like Sophie is like, you want to play?
Sophie Cunningham is chaos with a jump shot and no off switch, but it's bigger than her. Fans aren't craving influencers in sneakers. They want the gritty, real ones. Sophie rose on hustle, honesty, and a splash of weird, not PR spin, and that's a problem for anyone who bet on fake.
To the arena yesterday, wearing that, there she is right there. Let's just bring this up. Over at Tater Report, there she is right there. Hot girls eat Arby's. I can only imagine, and I have no idea. I would assume this is some kind of sponsorship with Arby's, right? Right there. I don't know. The roast beef sandwich jokes just sort of write themselves at this point. And just like that, I want a cheddar melt.
A $12 Arby's tee. That's all it took. No campaign, no collab, just Sophie, a smile, and fan love that PR budgets can't buy. The game didn't change in a boardroom. It changed because real beats rehearsed. Sophie's selling 100,000 more while Angel Reese watches her merch collect dust.
New strategy, team. Angel, keep doing your part. Everyone else, go rebound her misses. Burn! If she keeps missing layups at this rate, she's gonna be serving buttermilk pancakes at Denny's. Butter? Did somebody say butter? Butter pecan! Burn! At a certain point, you just got to applaud greatness. A rebound on her back? Are you kidding? Bang! Simon says, give me another pray-up. How about it? Bang! She really hit under the basket on a layup. Get this girl GPS. Bang! Everybody get up on your feet. It's time to meet and greet the most underpaid athlete. Bang!
Let's be real, this wasn't luck. Sophie didn't just randomly go viral in an Arby's tee. This was strategy in disguise. While half the league was busy TikToking and subtweeting, Sophie was out here playing 4D chess with curly fries and charm. No stunts, no faux vulnerability, just a slow burn that blew up. Now the playbook's flipped, and some players are scrambling because the old tricks just aren't cutting it anymore.
Sophie Cunningham is going viral right now for a TikTok video she made.
Sophie Cunningham gets fined $500 by Kathy Englebrain
for making this slick TikTok.
$500 is absolutely hilarious.
Once again, the WNBA has crossed the line.
Sophie Cunningham actually posted this herself, stating, "I got fined $500.
Sophie Cunningham didn't get fined for a foul or a heated reaction. She got hit with a $500 penalty for saying what fans have been yelling all year. WNBA officiating is a joke, and she had the guts to call it out.
Fans, they're responding to this video because she's calling out WNBA officiating, WNBA refs.
Cunningham posted the video 6 days ago. It shows her lip-syncing lyrics from Sabrina Carpenter's song Man-Child. The caption to the video is, "At some refs."
Stupid. Or is it slow? Maybe it's useless.
Yesterday, Cunningham reposted the video on X with a caption about the fine.
Worse yet, she wasn't just speaking for herself. She was standing up for Caitlin Clark, the league's biggest target.
Cunningham criticized some refs by describing them as stupid, slow, and useless. Damn!
Sophie Cunningham took an elbow to the face, and the ref did nothing. No call, no whistle, no reaction, just silence, as if headshots are now part of the game. The message? Take the hit. No one's stopping it. And rather than address the issue, the league fined Sophie for posting the video. She spoke out, and the WNBA made her pay for it.
You guys don't remember what happened in this game. In the Sun game, right before this, she got chucked out of bounds and the referee just stared and watched. And then she got elbowed in the face 2 possessions later and the referees just watched.
Sophie got hit in the back of the head with the elbow, right? Ref looking right at it, didn't do a thing, didn't say a thing, was shaking her head like, nah, you flopped. That is crazy work.
This wasn't just about a TikTok. It was a warning, a clear message to silence anyone daring to speak up, especially for Caitlin Clark, who's taken hits and cheap shots all season while refs look the other way.
At some refs. Stupid, slow, useless. Oh my goodness, man.
Following play, Sophie Cunningham breathes on a player, gets called for a foul. Referees were definitely not doing Sophie any favors that game and purposely ignoring, dare I say, flagrant fouls. Elbowing somebody in their shoulder, elbowing somebody in their neck, face area. Yeah, that's a flagrant foul. There's no other way to slice it.
Sophie's message hit hard because it was true. And it echoed what Indiana Fever players have felt all season. Rough play, targeted fouls, and zero protection. The fine wasn't just punishment, it was a warning. Stay quiet or you're next.
I got fined $500 for this TikTok. I don't know why this is funny to me. Like, okay, you got it, bud, because there's not more important things to be worried about with our league right now.
Give Sophie credit. This wasn't just a rant. It was leadership. Honest, raw, and real. The league punished her, but fans backed her instantly.
Caitlin Clark, and you can tell she's talking about being mentally beat down. We also know she's physically beat down. Why does this keep happening? And look, it's not just the Fever, it's not just Caitlin. There's a bunch of players across the leagues that's been speaking out against this.
Support flooded in. Players, reporters, fans, even WNBA legends. Everyone saw it for what it was. Sophie wasn't just fined, she became a symbol of the league's deeper problems.
Am I shocked that an activist basketball league decided to target Sophie Cunningham? No, I'm not surprised by that. I mean, this whole league's got all of its priorities all bleeped up, especially from social media, this and that and the other, but that's not the point. She should not be getting fined for this.
Her fine was just another chapter in the league's playbook. Punish those who speak out, especially if they defend Caitlin Clark. Meanwhile, the ones taking shots at her, protected, untouchable.
It doesn't seem that Cunningham will receive another fine from the WNBA for her posts and her continued criticism of the league.
Stacey Dales, who covers the NFL, has been on NFL Network forever. She's laughing her ass off about this.
Let's be real. Caitlin Clark's taken more cheap shots than anyone in years. Elbows, slams, trips, shoves, and she still gets the fewest calls. Fans now hold their breath on every layup, not to see if she scores, but if she survives it.
Sophie gets fined for TikTok, but players can bulldoze Caitlin almost every game with no response from the league.
It's not just unfair, it's dangerous. And the silence from the league is infuriating.
And Caitlin, she's been through the same BS. We see the pattern, and the league better start seeing it too.
Take this. Sophie gets elbowed, no call. She says a few words to the ref, who replies, "I'll remember that." Minutes later, she's hit with a phantom foul. That's not officiating, that's payback.
There's obviously, I did a video last night about Caitlin Clark, and you can tell she's talking about being mentally beat down. We also know she's physically beat down.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark gets mocked online after an eye injury, even by a teammate. Opponents laugh about it on Instagram. And the league? Silent. No fines, no action, nothing.
When Caitlin Clark returns, she's not getting abused and the referees are keeping their mouth shut. It's going to take somebody on the team to consistently speak out, because we know damn sure the coach is too scared to get fined. Oh, you guys going to fine me again? This is the game that after pushing and shoving for a jump ball, she says 2 words to the referee. The referee says, "Oh, I'll remember that." Following play, Sophie Cunningham breathes on a player, gets called for a foul. Referees were definitely not doing Sophie any favors that game.
This is the double standard fans are fed up with.
When last year, after Caitlin Clark got poked in the eye, dirty Dejanay Carrington and Alyssa Smith got on IG and made us mocking Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark is the WNBA's biggest draw, breaking viewership records, selling tickets, driving revenue. She's the league's engine, yet they won't protect her. Worse, they punish those who try. That's why Sophie's fine matters. She didn't just challenge a bad call, she exposed a broken system. The league isn't protecting stars, it's protecting its story.
Caitlin Clark has changed the game. She changed it in college and in the WNBA.
The country has fallen in love with what we have created. And America, here's the girl next door, all grown up, Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark has captivated the nation, breaking scoring records in college and bringing women's basketball to a whole new audience.
She is a phenomenon.
Sophie didn't start drama. She posted a video after taking an elbow. That alone got her fined. Meanwhile, players rough up Caitlin Clark without consequence. Fans see it. Even casual viewers spot the double standard. Sophie gets punished for a TikTok, but others can flatten Caitlin and joke about it online. This isn't inconsistency. It's a warning. Stay quiet.
As long as Kathy Engelbert is going to play one of the 3 blind mice, they're going to keep doing it. As long as Adam Silver just ignores this crap.
So what happens? Players go silent. Coaches look the other way. No one wants to be the next target for speaking out.
And all right, that is crazy work. They have to do better by these players. You have to protect these players, man. Protect your talent. It's as simple as that.
But Sophie spoke up. She took the hit on the court and off it to stand up for a teammate. That's rare in today's WNBA. This isn't about $500. It's about a culture where speaking out gets punished and doing the damage doesn't.
Sophie Cunningham is not the type who keeps her feelings to herself. The Indiana Fever star is quite outspoken, and she has no issue expressing her beliefs publicly, even if it gets her in trouble.
Fans have had it. The moment Sophie shared her fine, outrage lit up online. Loud, focused, and relentless. The league's socials got flooded. Some fans even offered to cover the fine themselves. That's how fed up people are.
Instead, let's fine the players because they're speaking out loud. It would be different. If the officiating was at least solid, I'd be like, yeah, you can't run your mouth about the referees. The officiating in this league blows chunks.
One viral comment nailed it. Sophie gets fined for a TikTok, but Caitlin gets hit, mocked, and ignored. That message spread fast. Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Kathy Engelbert? Silent. No statement, no defense, just silence. And it's becoming her trademark.
How did we get to an all-star game in Indiana where Caitlin Clark is not healthy enough to play? Well, it all started last year, in her rookie season, where she received 20% of all the flagrant fouls in the league. And most of them came from Angel Reese in the Chicago Sky. And these weren't basketball plays. They were not only fouling her, but they were getting up, laughing about it, laughing about Caitlin Clark getting assaulted. Any other work environment, people go to jail for what's going on.
This was Engelbert's chance to lead, to back the players elevating the league and putting their bodies on the line. Instead, she chose punishment over conversation, control over courage. Now, fans aren't just angry, they're disillusioned.
And last year, I noticed how much it was just Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark was taking all the hits. Caitlin Clark was taking all the abuse. But this year they've added Sophie Cunningham. She gets more flagrant fouls on her than anybody in the league besides Caitlin Clark. And Aaliyah Boston, she's been taking hits as well. But the worst thing is the consistency. So they don't call flagrant fouls, or most of the time, Caitlin Clark could be held for an entire game at a time. They don't call fouls. They don't call common fouls. But then when it's the Indiana Fever, guess what? Touch foul here, touch foul here. They call absolutely nothing.
Let's not forget, Caitlin Clark is the reason the WNBA is even part of the national conversation. She's breaking records, making headlines, and drawing eyes to every game, hers or not. So when she gets hammered with no call, and those who defend her get punished, the message is loud and chilling. The league doesn't care about its biggest star.
A bunch of players and coaches of the last few days have complained without being fine-worthy about officiating. I just want to see about your thoughts on if officiating is an issue and how it can be improved, because clearly there seems to be problems or disconnect between what players and coaches feel and what officials are actually calling.
This was the WNBA's moment to prove it values fairness over optics, players over PR. Instead, it chose silence, and now it's paying the price.
It's going to be a jump. Now here it looked like a jump. There, this looks like a foul to me.
Yeah.
Indiana, and you can see Caitlin saying you were right in front of her.
Caitlin Clark lost it on the refs after Sophie Cunningham got body slammed with no call. It wasn't just a blown whistle, it was a disgrace, exposing everything wrong with WNBA officiating in the Fever's 78-74 win over the Storm.
Like, I'm not saying that your job is easy, but when it is a simple call right in front of your face multiple times, what are you doing? What are you doing?
What call are you like bugged out?
All of them.
Just everything.
Like, it's just like they're just so inconsistent. Like, that's my thing. Like, if you're on the other team and you're going to be found this shit at me,
Yeah.
cool. But let me do it to
Didn't
you.
let you, yeah.
You know what I mean?
want
Like,
consistency then.
yeah, like just give. And I think that's players across the league and like new fans across the country. Like, everyone's like, what is going on with the refs? And I'm like, I don't know.
Sophie grabbed the rebound and was calmly holding the ball until a Storm player slammed her like it was Sunday Night Football. The ref? Front row seat? Did nothing. Just stood there like he was watching a backyard barbecue.
Now, am I ever advocating for players to throw other players on the ground? No, like we've seen so much of it throughout the WNBA. He watches this happen right in front of him. There's so much contact on the play and he does nothing. He doesn't blow his whistle. He doesn't stop the play. He doesn't call a foul here.
That's when Caitlin Clark, sidelined for the 7th straight game with a groin injury, finally snapped. She'd had enough.
We have updates and our recovery's going well. You know, it's just, I think for us staying the course and making sure that we're really diligent about each step that we take and that we don't have setbacks and that we're patient with it. I know she wants to be out here on the floor and we want her out here on the floor, but making sure that she's ready is the most important thing. You know, I still don't know how far we are. We're going to take it one step at a time, one day at a time, and go from.
She couldn't hold back. You were right in front of her. Why did you change your mind? Clark shouted, her voice echoing through the arena, saying what every fan was thinking. The incompetence was unreal.
I don't even know what the players can do because the players aren't being protected. And I know so many of the times, like, we're talking about this when it comes to the Indiana Fever, but this does happen across the league. There are many plays that we could pull up. Do you guys have any suggestions on what can actually be done? The coaches get fined when they call them out to the media. Like, this is a top-down issue. This is a commissioner's issue.
This officiating mess isn't just a bad night. It's the WNBA's biggest crisis. And Caitlin Clark's outrage? It's become the rallying cry for a league on the brink.
The officiating in the WNBA, I kind of already went off on it, but it's just atrocious. Really, really bad. Like, there have got to be rules to present overt physicality from dominating the game. And that's what we've got. We've got it in the NBA. We've got it in the WNBA. Nobody wants to call a bunch of fouls, but these officials don't know what a foul is and a foul isn't. They can't even tell when a ball goes out of bounds. Like, you've got 2 million plus people watching some of these games. You have got to have a correctly officiated product, or at least confidently officiated product, and competently officiated product.
WNBA officiating is in freefall, and everyone sees it. Blown calls keep stacking up, while Sophie got fined $500 for a TikTok mocking refs. Meanwhile, real hits go unchecked. Commissioner Engelbert shrugged it off. But this isn't about losing, it's about player safety and respect.
This year, it's not just Caitlin Clark. If you wear that Indiana Fever jersey, consider it done. The refs are not going to be fair, and they are going to cheat and do whatever it takes to do what the higher-ups say.
Even the league's biggest names are fed up. Becky Hammon's been losing it publicly. Kelsey Plum shows up to pressers covered in scratches, asking how she got mauled for 40 minutes and only shot 6 free throws.
And I got scratches on my face, I got scratches on my body, and these guards on the other team get these ticky-tack fouls, and I'm sick of it. I get fouled like that every possession. Ricky gets fouled like that in the post all the time, and they don't call it, and I don't know what else to do. Like, it's really frustrating, though. I'm like, I feel, I mean, there's multiple shots at the end of the game, either go into the third, into the fourth, where they're just coming and swinging, and they just don't call anything.
Amid the chaos, one player rose above it all. Sophie Cunningham. She delivered another clutch performance, proving she's the Fever's go-to star with Caitlin Clark still sidelined.
Gabby Williams storms inside, can't finish it, follows it up into the arms of Bibby, just signed for the rest of the season by Indiana. Been a perfect fit at the stretch 4. Cunningham connects on a 3.
And you just look at her frame, 6'6" and super long.
Cunningham connects on another 3.
She lit it up with 17 points on 5 of 6 shooting, including 4 of 5 from deep. And yep, she was the only Fever player to hit a 3 all game.
Big games from Sophie Cunningham, the only player on the Indiana Fever to make her 3 tonight. The Indiana Fever were 4 of 21 from downtown, and Sophie Cunningham hit all 4 of those 3s. 17 points. And the difference between this and the Lynx game, which was Sophie Cunningham's last really good breakout game, this wasn't late. This was, oh, we're struggling offensively. Somebody needs to come through, and Sophie Cunningham came through for us.
Sophie's no fluke. She's been on fire. Dubbed the Blonde Bomber for her clutch 3s, she's thrived since that viral Sun Brawl backing Clark, gaining 800,000 followers and skyrocketing jersey sales.
Sophie the Blonde Bomber, Sophie the Trophy, lit it up again tonight. Man, she has been nothing short of spectacular as of late. 5 of 6 from the floor, 4 of 5 from 3, 3 for 4 from the free throw line, 17 points, 2 assists, 5 rebounds. Sophie, the Blonde Bomber, has been on fire. Sophie stepped it up in a big time way. That is what you need. When your best player is out, you need the ancillary pieces to step up and deliver. And that is what Sophie Cunningham has been doing for
Sophie's rise from enforcer to star has been a season highlight. Now the Fever's most reliable scorer, she's a fan favorite. But even her heroics couldn't stop another near collapse of a 12-point lead.
The Fever did everything possible to blow a game, but still come out with the win. That was a near epic level collapse, folks. Wow, it should have never gotten that close. Lexi Hull, Stephanie White waited till the very last minute to put Hull in on defense. She should have been in there from 2 minutes in. 2.5 minutes in on defense. They could not seem to get a big rebound to save their life, and this almost turned into a disaster.
The Fever were rolling, up 55-42 in the third behind Sophie's hot streak. But the moment they relaxed, everything unraveled. It's like they're allergic to success without Clark. Seattle closed the quarter on a 10-2 run, slicing the lead to 4. And just like that, a sure win turned into a full-blown nail-biter.
The Indiana Fever just almost pushed me to a heart attack. The Indiana Fever nearly blow a 12-point fourth quarter lead. We allow the Seattle Storm to go on an 11-0 run in the fourth quarter. Stephanie White, I keep telling y'all, I don't trust her. I'm sorry. We give up a 11-0 run within the last 4 minutes to let this team cut the lead down to 1.
The fourth was all nerves. Seattle cut it to 73-72 with 3 minutes left, and every Fever fan felt the panic. This team just can't close games, and it's costing them.
Boy, they almost blew it. Nonsensical whistles to stop runs, or how about blowing a whistle to stop the other team's run? Coming out in the second half, I will never back off of this. When you come out in the second half and you start losing leads, that is a coaching issue. I don't care what sport you're in. All right? Because what that tells you is the opposing coach went into the second in the halftime, made adjustments. The other team comes out, and they start figuring it out. Well, it's up to your coach. It's up to your coach to make adjustments against that adjustment.
The Fever seem to forget how to play once the fourth starts. Kelsey Mitchell had a brutal night. 3 for 16, 0 for 8 from 3, like playing piano with oven mitts. Luckily, Aaliyah Boston stepped up big. She dropped 16 points, 12 boards, and a clutch 9-point run that saved the game.
Kelsey Mitchell could not get it going today, and I told y'all she is a roller coaster. You got to remember, she went off versus the Sky. Then she was, 8 for 24. Then she had a good game. Then she was down again. Then last game she was up. This game she's down again at 3 of 16. This is Kelsey Mitchell. She's a roller coaster. She's a roller coaster. She gave you 9 points on 3 of 16, shooting 0 of 8 from 3.
Here's Boston. Boston, good look inside. Howard lays it in. Nobody in the league at 6'4" or taller averages more assists than Aaliyah Boston. Well, you know, what happens off a deflection from a defensive player if it hits the rim? Shot clock still would reset. It doesn't have to be a shot. As Howard somehow spins that in, plus the foul.
Boston's resurgence came right on time. After struggling without Clark, she's finally back to form, dominating the paint, locking in on defense, and giving the Fever hope. With Sophie handling the scoring, Boston's aggression has become one of the few bright spots in a chaotic season.
I mean, AB's been huge for us. She's really been the key. She came into this league predominantly playing on the low block, getting a lot of post touches when she was in college and her rookie year. And then, last year, her first year with Caitlin, playing a lot in the two-man. And then this year we're asking her to be a facilitator as well. A hub for us on the offensive end of the floor while being more versatile on the defensive end than she probably has ever been. And she's just continued to step up to the challenge and grow and be better. She's really the rock of our team.
Veteran leadership has kept Indiana afloat, and Natasha Howard's been key. She dropped 21 points and became the team's steady anchor amid the chaos. Smart finishes, high IQ, zero ego, just consistent pro-level execution. In a league full of spotlight chasers, Howard's discipline is a rare and needed presence.
Players looking like they need a breather.
Yes.
Cunningham lays it in, going backdoor on Diggins. Well, what happens off a deflection from a defensive player if it hits the rim? Shot clock still would reset. It doesn't have to be a shot. As Howard somehow spins that in, plus the foul.
You see her cutting through the lane. Skylar Diggins is inside, so she's the one left to take the Howard cut. What a tough shot by Natasha Howard.
The Storm had every chance to steal this one, but when it mattered, they crumbled. Skylar Diggins missed 2 wide-open threes, and Gabby Williams' clean look at the buzzer rimmed out. Now 16-13, Seattle's dropped 3 of 4 at home, and with the playoff race tightening, they're running out of time and answers for their late-game collapses.
I'm really proud of you guys. There were so many ways in a close game and in game situation where we grew today that were huge for us, y'all. That will pay dividends. So great job. I'm proud of you guys. Everybody contributed. Everybody came in and gave us a lift. Kels, I know it was a tough shooting day, but the way you facilitated and that one big jumper that you made. Right? We dug in and got stops when we needed to. I mean, big time win, y'all. Big time win.
This was a huge win for Indiana. Now 17th to 12th and 5th in the standings, they own tiebreakers over both Seattle and Vegas, key for the playoff push. Even more impressive? They've won 5 straight without Caitlin Clark and sit 9-7 without her overall. But her return remains a mystery. She showed up in game gear, but didn't play, fueling speculation. With tough matchups ahead and playoff spots on the line, every game and every unanswered question matters.
Because it looked like Caitlin Clark went to Chicago and took the city over. It looked like she took the city over.
People are showing up just to witness Caitlin Clark. It's like she's the damn Beatles.
Angel, pray up. Me bound Reese, I hope you listening. It looks like that line was for my precious CC. How she pulled up in your...
Remember that cringe Reebok ad where Angel Reese was all, come to your trap, take over your trap during All-Star Weekend? Yeah, about that. Caitlin Clark didn't just come. She stormed in, owned the joint, flipped the lights on, and turned Indy into her personal playground. Meanwhile, Reese? Nowhere. Another perfectly timed injury. The irony? Chef's kiss. Clark stole the spotlight in Reese's backyard, and Reese disappeared right when it counted.
Caitlin Clark spent 20 minutes signing autographs. She made her way 2/3 of the arena. She signed literally hundreds of autographs. She signed hundreds of autographs. And if you guys didn't see that game today, there were as many Fever fans as there were Sky fans.
It was so cinematic, you'd swear it was scripted to clown Reese. Clark rolled into Chicago like a rock star, fans mobbing the United Center, kids screaming, selfies flying. Meanwhile, Reese vanished. Back injury, sure, while Caitlin signed 200+ autographs and turned the sidewalk into Fever FanCon, Reese was busy posting cryptic stuff online, watching her moment melt away.
Now, see, this the real version of walking your trap and take over your trap. Look at this. Look at that.
Oh my God.
All them jerseys. I would hate Caitlin too. And I wasn't even aware. Wasn't this supposed to be Barbie night or something? Come on, Caitlin walked in and took over, and she didn't even play.
The so-called trap she claimed was hers got straight up hijacked, and not by force, but by talent, grace, and real star power.
So Caitlin Clark is not playing the game. And like, by the way, like, people didn't know whether or not Caitlin was playing that game until the very end. There are hundreds of fans that were there to see Caitlin Clark play on the off chance Caitlin Clark would be able to sign something. She was there. She spent like 20 minutes autographing everything.
What happened to Miss Angel Reese? She's all in Indiana during All-Star, and her Reebok campaign, come to your trap, take over your trap.
The contrast couldn't have been more brutal if it were scripted. Caitlin Clark, injured no less, was out there delivering for fans like a true star. Meanwhile, Angel Reese, the so-called face of Chicago, was a ghost during the city's biggest weekend. Clark showed up and shined. Reese vanished. This is what happens when you chase clout instead of building your own legacy. Eventually, the spotlight tells the truth.
I think this what means when you walk into your trap and take over. She in your city. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I forgot about that tweet. I forgot about the tweet. Walk in your trap, take over your trap. I just realized that. I'm like, oh my God, there's no way they came out with that.
And here's what really seals it. Caitlin Clark didn't even play. She didn't have to. Her presence alone stirred up a frenzy. Meanwhile, her Fever teammates took the floor and made a statement of their own.
Money Mitch put him in a ditch, and Michaela Timpson treating the Chicago Sky like a bunch of Simpsons. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Might be scorching hot right now. You have been so good on the road lately. 6 straight games, 24 points a game. How are you off to another hot start in a hostile environment?
I think about just staying in rhythm. And when I stay in rhythm, about being aggressive. So as long as I'm aggressive and being myself, they make it easier for me.
Kelsey Mitchell came in with something to prove and no time for games. From the jump, she lit up the court. draining threes from every corner of Chicago and capping the night with a blazing 35-point clinic, including 7 from beyond the arc.
Kelsey Mitchell, 7 for 10 from the three-point line. Off the start, 8 points quick. You knew, Kelsey Mitchell's hot today. Kelsey Mitchell's hot today. This might be her game. Let's keep the hot hand in. Let's keep the hot hand going. Let's set her some big body screens. Get her open. Kelsey Mitchell, she did it all. 7 for 10 from the three-point line. She got to the rack. She got to the free throw line, carving up the defense, looking like a little snake, how she just slithers in and out of that defense. Kelsey Mitchell, salute to you.
This wasn't just basketball. It was a statement. Mitchell turned hostile turf into her own gym, proving the Fever are more than just Clark & Co. Even without Caitlin running the show, Indiana showed its depth. Mitchell grabbed the spotlight, carried the franchise, and delivered a gem that screamed, "Don't count us out just because Clark's on the bench."
She lit them up. I mean, she was on fire. On fire. She couldn't miss. I mean, everything was in the flow of the offense. Effortless, man. We got to give love to Kelsey Mitchell. 12 of 19 from the floor, 7 of 10 from 3, 35 points. Straight stirring the pot. Stirring the pot. She was cooking there today. Kelsey Mitchell was on one. She was on one. She was a plus 25 for the game. The Chicago Sky are a flat-out joke. This team is terrible.
Aaliyah Boston didn't just show up. She took over. Her 14 points and 11 boards weren't flashy, but they were brutal. She owned the paint, dismantling Chicago's front court with smarts, strength, and surgical footwork. Every touch was a masterclass in making elite players look average.
Cardoso running the floor. Gets denied by Boston, returning the favor. Boston finds the cutter. It's Timpson who lays it in. That ends the 11-0 run. Here's Mitchell. Flips it in, wide open Boston. Tracks it back down. Off to Boston. Backdoor, Mitchell the cut, and the finish. Tough bucket from Kelsey Mitchell. And get Kelsey Mitchell.
While Boston dominated inside, Ari McDonald came off the bench and delivered again. 10 clutch points, cool under pressure, like she was built for big moments. She wasn't even part of the original plan, but now she's writing herself into Indiana's story. And this win? It wasn't luck. The Fever controlled the pace, shut down every Sky rally, and played with ruthless precision. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement.
Here's Mitchell, who has 15 in the quarter and a season-high 6 made threes. Hull will fire and hit at the horn. Big finish to the third from Indiana.
That 93-78 score, it flatters Chicago. This felt like a 30-point thrashing. The Fever dominated every category: shooting, rebounding, defense, energy, you name it. And they did it all without their franchise star. That's what real contenders do. No excuses, just execution. Meanwhile, Chicago, at home, season on the line, and they folded. Out-hustled, outshot, outclassed. Indiana hit nearly 50% from deep. Chicago barely cracked 31%. That's not just stats. That's culture, preparation, and mindset.
Let's go. Let's go. Yep. The really good thing about having quality depth is when you don't have it, somebody else does. And KK? Yeah! Way to step up. Chloe, great job coming in. Good job. Lex, way to come in and make an impact.
Indiana's bench came up big. Nalissa Smith and Lexi Hull gave key minutes that kept the momentum alive. They're not just filling space, they're keeping the standard high and letting the starters breathe. That depth matters in a playoff push. And defensively, the Fever forced 17 turnovers, turning the Sky into a panicked mess. Constant pressure, constant disruption. Indiana never let them settle.
Indiana run after Chicago had cut it to 2. Poked away by Timpson. There's the deflection. Off to the races. Timpson finishes strong. forcing a timeout from Chicago. A 9-0 Indiana run, and the lead is back to 11.
Michaela Timpson, the rookie, all season long, when she's gotten minutes here and there, has made the most of them. We've seen it on the offensive end. Then here, just getting her arms in the passing lane, the deflection, finishing a tough look.
This wasn't just one bad night for Chicago. It was their 5th straight loss. Injuries, rotations, coaching chaos. It's all unraveling. A team built for the playoffs is now just fighting to stay relevant. The energy's off, execution is sloppy, and the coach looks helpless watching it all fall apart. The front office has a choice: rebuild or pray for a miracle. Meanwhile, Indiana's got stability, structure, and serious momentum. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement. The Fever are rising. Chicago? They just got exposed.